Hey, you guys, what's going on, my kings and my queens? If I sound funny to you guys, I'm still recovering from surgery. It has been a week, and I'm still not 100% with my vocabulary, the way I speak, due to me having surgery. So, I apologize to you guys. So, this is DJ Academics. Hitting up Milagro Graham for my radio because she gets boots on the ground. She is in my state, San Diego. Well, she ain't in San Diego, she's in LA. I'm in San Diego. As of now, I came back from Louisiana. I'm out here. We trying to get my grandmother to move. So we trying to set up situations for my grandmother. But anyways, shout out to these two academics and Millie Milagro hooking up together and doing commentary because, like I said, she is in LA covering the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion case, and she is doing a phenomenal job. So shout out to my radio, Millie and DJ Academics, Big Act. What's up, Big Act? For collaborating, and through her, he is putting information out, and we have other people as well who is covering this case, but Milagro, she is more down to earth. She's going to give it to us in the terminology, like the hood way, as well as keeping it professional. So shout out to her. And if you're here for the first time, if you want to do so, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell button, hit all every time I love you guys to be notified. Go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section so I know what you guys thought. Also, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. So don't let YouTube play with you guys. Don't let YouTube play with y'all in y'all face. Go ahead and thumb up the channel because it'll push me out through the algorithm, So don't let YouTube play with y'all in y'all face. He playing with y'all, y'all play with me. So thumb up the video. It's free. It ain't gonna cost you a headache. It ain't gonna cause you no migraine. You ain't gonna lose no sleep. You already in here viewing the content. Why you just can't thumbs up? That's all it takes. Thumbs up the video so other people can enjoy the content as well. And I appreciate anyone that has came in just to view the content as well. So shout out to y'all, kings and queens, my crowns and my tiaras. Shout out to y'all for this coming in and viewing my day ones and the new ones. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? I love you guys so much and just appreciate it. I'm not going to give y'all the whole 2 hours of this. I'm not finna sit here and do that. But I'm going to give y'all majority of what's going on. So do I hear this is day 2 of the trial? I have not been keeping up with this trial with Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez because I said I'm still recovering. And majority of the time, I'm sleeping. The pain medication they gave me knocks me out. And right now, I'm struggling to give you guys this content as well because it hurts to talk. It really do. It hurts. It really hurts to talk. So, just stay with me, and I'm going to give y'all what's going on. And I appreciate all you guys for just coming and joining this content with me. Let's go. Let's get it.
And you want me to be on? Okay. You tired of my TED Talk, and you done with me telling you how I feel about this bullshit that's going on? Okay. Whew.
By the way, shout out to
I got to the courthouse. Per the door that I came in.
Hold up. First of all, everybody shout. I want everybody to spam up Big W to Rasco C, RASCOCEE for the 5 gifted.
And I did it verbatim. I promise you. And anybody that was there knows that this is real. Please, people, look at this photo. I swear to God, that's what Megan drew. She wasn't walking to the back, and she didn't charge it in the front seat and a charger in the back seat. Bitches could have charged their phone. I feel like it's a lie, but whatever.
Holy.
Okay. People back in the car, and she say they was still arguing about the shit. Kelsey and Tory was arguing. She said, look, I ain't want to be in it, so I wanted to get out. So she said, I can walk to my house, And then she heard, dance, bitch, as she was walking away. Now Megan in court says she wasn't walking to the back of the car. She was walking towards the front. It took her 2 or 3 seconds, and Tory said, dance, bitch, and she looked over her left shoulder. And when she looked over her left shoulder, she saw him with a gun. Then she just froze. And he starts to shoot. So did she remain looking back at him? I didn't get an understanding of that, and I wish they would have kind of like.
I do have one question, and whether the answer comes from Meg or from the police detectives, did it say how far the shooter was from Meg when they fired the shot? Because this sounds like it's pretty close.
You know what? And you're going to think this shit look crazy, but I drew it verbatim. They made Megan draw on the back of the evidence photo. Okay? They made her draw a picture of where she was. And I did it verbatim. I promise you. And anybody that was there knows that this is real. Please, people, look at this photo. I swear to God, that's what Megan drew. I swear to God. Megan says she's about 8 feet. Okay? About 8 feet away. And that is what she drew. If they ever let y'all see evidence photos, you will see that my shit looks just like that. Okay? It looked just like that. Let's get to the juicy shit. Fuck all this other bullshit. And so she said that she felt shocked and all of that shit. And she didn't see where Kelsey was or nothing like that. She went over to the driveway and she said it was blurry. She said, they said, did you see Kelsey and Tory get into a physical fight? She said, no. I saw them bump each other and they asked her to describe what that meant. And she really couldn't. She said, I think they bumped into each other and I saw both of them coming towards me, but it's just really, really, really blurry.
And this is after the shot, so all she saw was that they bumped into each other.
That they bumped into each other and came towards her. That's what she said. And then she said she doesn't remember what he said at that time. But you recall, she first said that he started saying, I'm sorry, don't say nothing, I give you $1 million. But now she says, no, I don't remember what he said. It's all a blur. And she said shortly after they got back in the car,
wait.
when they heard.
So she does not repeat on the stand that Tory offered her $1 million. Right there.
Not at that time. She says that all she remembers is later. When the cops, she said as soon as they heard sirens in the background, that basically Tory started to panic and was like, oh, don't say nothing. I'll give you $1 million. I'm on probation. I can't go back to jail. Some bullshit like that. And so, what I feel like fucked Megan up majorly was saying, well, I didn't know where I was. The defense tried to get Megan to outline where she was in the street, like where did the car stop and what was this and what was that. Megan claimed that she was about to walk home, but she said that the phone was dead or dying, so you couldn't use your GPS. Megan said she didn't know where she was, but said that she lived up the hill and was going to walk home. So did you know where you were or not? Did you know where you were headed or not? Like, come on, it don't make no sense. She said Kelsey was in the car crying. She was crying. And they said, had you ever seen Kelsey with a gun? And did you ever see Kelsey with the gun at night? She said, no. They said, did you know that Tory had a gun? She said, no. Were there any other injuries, like to Kelsey, like not that she knew of, and that she was bleeding in the car, and that, Kelsey was being of assistance to her? And she said that I told them that I stepped on glass because of the George Floyd situation. I was taken to the hospital. They were
And not to cut you off.
Huh?
And not to cut you off, did they ask her that prior to the situation, once she got in the car, did she, because, Tory didn't have a shirt on,
right?
He just had, swimming trunks on. Did she see the gun before? Was it on the center console?
She said not seen the gun before. And when they said, they made a really good point. She said on the stand, I didn't have no gun. Justin didn't have no gun because we had the bikinis on. So we didn't have no one that had no gun. So the defense said, well, what did Tory have space to have a gun? Because he just had on swim trunks. She said she don't remember what he had on.
Due to this not being my content, y'all, this is from DJ Academics, Big Ac. I'm not going to give y'all the whole content, but this is day 2. So I'm going to be giving y'all commentary here and there. So again, shout out to DJ Academics and Malaka Grounds from my radio. They're doing their thing. She went to the trial. And she's giving her commentary verbatim of what happened, what was said. She wrote her notes down because you cannot bring a camera or a phone inside. If it is, it got to be turned off. So she is giving her notes that she took down. You are allowed to take notes. So she's giving us notes of what she have observed from the testimony from Megan Thee Stallion. So this is trial day 2. I'm going to try to give y'all day 3 and day 4 as well. Shout out to my radio and DJ Academics. You're watching here, House of Queens TV. Let's go. Let's get it.
She doesn't remember.
Okay.
So she said in the community it's not acceptable to snitch. That's why she didn't want to cooperate, and that's why she lied about the glass. She didn't want to be cooperating with authorities. And she said when you're a woman and you say a man did something to you, don't nobody believe it. And she said that the industry is nothing more than a boys' club. And she felt like everybody was going to hate her. She said that...
Did she answer why she got back in the car with the nigga who just shot at her 5 times?
Yeah. I will read it, but I believe that she said that she was just scared. She was nervous. She needed to get home. She know she was. It had happened so fast and like she didn't know what to do. Like she put it like she was just so in shock and didn't know what was going on.
Did they ask the question of, did Tory force you to get back in, or did you willingly get back in?
They didn't ask her, did he force her to get back in, but they said, and you got back in the car, and why did you get back in the car? And then she answered as follows, which was okay, well, I got back in because, it was in the middle of the street, it was late, it was dark, whatever the case may be. But she said it was so blurry. And then she goes into not remembering all of the key shit. Megan didn't remember nothing that would have incriminated her damn self. She remembered everything that was simply, he shot me. But every time they asked a valuable question, I don't remember all that bullshit. And to the point where it was getting agitated. Because it was like, girl.
What was it being offered for? There's a lot of room to play there. First off, the biggest thing here is that Kelsey denies that she took any money. She said, I didn't take any money. I'm not testifying here.
Also, shout out to Lawyers for Workers. This guy as well as he is also boots on the ground in following the Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez case. He's been doing this before they even went to trial. He's been giving his opinion, his commentary, but mainly his opinion before the trial started when all this had happened. He's a real life lawyer. He has an IG page and a Twitter, but I don't know his Twitter ID, but his IG is Lawyers for Workers. He is a real lawyer. So he's giving the lawyer terms and opinions on what's going on inside the courtroom as well, because like I said, he is a real life lawyer. So let's get his opinion on what he's thinking, what's going to go on this trial. That is a whole shit show for what people are saying about this whole case.
Because I've been paid to testify. I'm not being silenced. I've been paid to testify. That goes a long way. She does, however, acknowledge that offers may have been made. So the prosecutor's whole point is that she's doing all this shit because she's getting paid. Kelsey's whole point is that I deny. So, question back to Kelsey. Why are you not talking? What's going on here? What is it that you're afraid of saying? we don't get that answer. She just keeps saying, to protect myself. So there's the money angle, which goes against Kelsey, and then there's the text message. The text message is from Kelsey to a security guard. It says, Tory shot Meg. How do you explain that message? Well, if your theory is that Kelsey is a big-ass liar, Kelsey was involved in this shooting, and from the jump is just saying whatever she can possibly say, whenever she can say it, to avoid putting the burden on her, and you couple that with the fact that Meg has never spoken to Kelsey. They're not talking. They had a complete falling out. The prosecutor asked Kelsey, hey, why aren't you and Meg talking? And Kelsey said, I don't know. Look, there's so much going on. There is just so much going on. And, my big takeaway is this is not a case about Meg versus Tory. This is not a case about who's right, who's wrong. It's not a case about who's lying, who's telling the truth. This is a case about reasonable doubt. Prosecutors believe that a man got out of a car, pulled a gun, and shot 5 times at a woman. I would ask those prosecutors, do you really believe that? And if you do, why haven't you charged attempted murder? What they probably know is that there's more to this story. It doesn't fit a clean narrative to dunk on Tory, so they're not telling us more of this story. And now they've given Kelsey immunity. They told her, this is interesting. We're going to need, to keep this open, and we'll see how this plays out in the future. But let me tell you how the immunity played out, because this is very interesting. So she comes into court. She says, I'm not going to testify. Okay. Now they say, well, we'll give you used immunity. Anything you say won't be used against you. And then her lawyer comes back and says, that's not good enough. I want something called transactional immunity, that you cannot charge me for anything that came out of this circumstance, that night, that incident. You are giving me immunity that you will never charge me for anything that happened that night. They said, we can't do that. But they went on the record and told the judge on the record that we will not charge Kelsey with any crimes, that we have no intention, we will not charge Kelsey with any crimes of what happened that night. What does all that mean? As a practical matter, there's no way you'll ever have the evidence to charge Kelsey. And she's been given both use immunity, so her words can't be used against her, and she's been given a statement on the record from prosecutors that she will not be charged for anything that came out of this incident.
Okay, so by that being said, so by him saying that, so if Kelsey cannot be charged with anything that she say on the witness stand, or what she has stated before they went to trial, like when she got arrested and all that, or if she did get arrested or not, anything that she have told the prosecution or the detectives or whatever, she can't be charged with it. Okay, so she got immunity from everything that happened that night that we still do not understand what happened. Megan, she acting stupid and dumb, like she don't know what's going on. Chelsea is acting stupid and dumb, like she don't know what's going on. But this thing is this: you have immunity, Chelsea. Chelsea has immunity, you guys. Why the hell is she still not speaking or talking? So it's something in a blurred line that they're not saying to us as viewers and the people that are in court that's observing this and come back and giving us the commentary, giving us their opinion, their statement of what Chelsea has said in court, because court is not, it's open, but it's really not open. And a lot of people are not going to the courthouse and coming back and letting us know as viewers what's really going on. So Chelsea has immunity. She can't get charged with nothing. So why the hell you're not sitting here and giving it out period point blank on what happened from the time that you guys got to Cali House, the time that Tory came, and the time you guys got in that car and left? Why is there such a hard time, like pulling fucking teeth? Why is Kelsey not saying what happened? Give us a walkthrough, a step-by-step play on what fucking happened. I don't know. I can't remember. No, yes. Girl, what happened? You have immunity. You have fucking immunity. So anything that you say, you will not be arrested for. So why is it still hard for her to say what happened? Do you guys get that? So something is not being said here. Again, shout out to the academics, boot on the ground. He's giving us no big ad. What's up, big ad? So again, thumbs up the content, so you know it can get pushed out. So I'll let YouTube play with y'all. Let me come in the comment section so I can know what y'all thought about this content. If you're here for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. House of Queens TV. Let's go. Let's get it, my kings and my queens.
It's crazy that they would do that. If there's a possibility that this person is lying all over the place, if you didn't investigate her for DNA, if you didn't investigate her for fingerprints, you didn't arrest her that night, you didn't interrogate her that night, and then you gave her immunity later on, that's crazy to me. And so all that, you know, when you tell all of that to a jury, and now you tell them that, okay, well, we want you to lock this man up for 22 years. So we're not going to tell him the time that he's facing, but we want you to hit him with, you know, felony assault with a semi-automatic firearm because he had intent to harm this woman when he pulled a gun and shot at her. Man, I got to think that 1 out of 12 jurors, or might be 14, is going to say, that doesn't add up to me. I'm not ready to convict somebody in a case like this. This is too messy.
Hey, so watching or even like listening to even your reports, and it seemed very like bombshells were being dropped. Did the prosecutors have any idea that Kelsey Because Kelsey went against it. She basically said, whatever I told you guys, complete cap.
Yes, that's what she said, and they had no idea. And I'll tell you another interesting dynamic of how that played out. So they had no idea. And she was struggling. The prosecutor was really struggling. Because prosecutors don't expect that, and they're not ready for that, and it doesn't happen all the time, and she was just not ready for it. But the judge bailed out the prosecutor because the judge didn't like it. The judge saw that here's a person who's recanting everything they told to an investigator. And so the prosecutor basically would just keep asking the same questions all over again. She would cover a topic, then she would go back to that topic because she couldn't deal with Kelsey's recanting and telling her that everything was a lie. And so the prosecutor got really off guard, but the judge saved the prosecutor, and the judge gave the prosecutor a lot of leeway to repeat questions, to re-ask questions, to ask questions in ways that I think a normal witness would not have to answer. But because the judge did not like this witness either, basically saying that, hey, I'm a big fat liar, I've been lying to you guys all along, the judge let the prosecutor go. It went on for so long. I mean, you're talking about Kelsey started testifying in the morning. She's not even done with the direct examination by the prosecutor. So tomorrow she'll go back. The prosecutors will continue questioning her, and then we'll get cross-examination. Oh, Lord.
Wow. So as I was kind of seeing this go down, I said to myself, I'm wondering, and by the way, now I'm in the realms of just theories, because at the end
we're
of the
all
day,
in the deep end, bro. We are like deep. Like, this is like deep at this point.
I'm wondering if Tory's attorney or Tory's defense, like his whole team, had any idea this was going to happen. Because in my opinion, if she did what she was supposed to do, she was supposed to put Tory in a position where I speculated Tory has to take the stand. I think after this, I'm like, don't take the stand, because you haven't even got to cross yet, and she's basically fucked up everything the prosecutor got going on direct. This is amazing. She's working for the defense.
No, that's your read on that is very right, but it can go either way. You're absolutely right that after Kelsey kind of shits on everything and just confuses everything up, you could kind of just maybe leave it at that. But I don't think so. Not with the statements of him offering money, not with the text message. I think he's going to take the stand. I think that's going to be crazy.
Hey, let me also ask you. So, even watching that whole thing, and I'm wondering if it's because she doesn't have that transactional immunity. How prepped do you think her lawyer, had her to? Hey, listen, you can say these things, but not these things.
I don't know. I mean, look, all I can say is this. I with or without transactional immunity, I feel like, and I'm not a California attorney would have to give anybody advice on what is the value of a prosecutor going on the record and stating that we're never going to charge her for this, or we have no intention to charge her. But in my mind, I feel like she went up there testifying with complete faith that nobody is going to charge her with this. Despite that, she had a lot of trouble testifying. I mean, when I tell you, I can't even. I used to do high school debate, and I'm a lawyer now, and my greatest skill is seeing a bunch of information unfold in front of me and then saying that to somebody in a digestible format. I can't even begin to try to digest for you the testimony from Kelsey today. It was fucking everywhere. And the prosecutor was so shocked and so confused by what was coming out, she was everywhere. And so the whole shit is just a fucking mess. I think because of that, you probably need Tory to come in and say their alternative theory and hear from him in his words what went down that night. If you don't hear from him, that's too risky, right? Listen, I'm no criminal defense attorney. I'm no trial lawyer, but I'm a human being. I've been in that courtroom all day. If I were a juror, I'd want to hear from Tory.
Let me ask you this, because this is the angle I'm getting. And again, I'm reading all the reports from you guys who are in there, and I'm taking, pretty much everyone says the same thing. Sometimes, certain people might not have emphasis on certain parts, and some people might think it's important. But what I took away from even her testimony today, Kelsey, that is, it seems like more than anything or whatever her feelings is towards Tory, she hates Meg.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one theory you can take away from this testimony is that she shot Meg. That maybe Meg doesn't know. I think the defense theory will be this: there's a tussle of a gun between two people, and that's the two people with the GSR. And in that tussle, the gunshot residue ends up on both of them. The gun goes off. Whether Meg gets shot or not, or whether she cuts her foot on something else is an open question. Kelsey testified today that she heard that Meg cut her foot on glass. That's ultimately going to come down to, I think, the doctor. There's a doctor's report that shrapnel was taken out of the foot. That doctor, I think, will testify, and we'll get a sense of, is he 100% sure the shrapnel was taken out of her foot, or was he just connecting the dots saying, you know, this woman came in, there was gunshots, they told me that, and I pulled some shit out her foot, so I figured it must have been shrapnel. We don't know.
Well, according to the police reports, two doctors said two different things. The first doctor said, okay, we listened to her story, and we thought her injuries was consistent with glass. And then the second one, who supposedly was the surgeon, who I think is supposed to testify if they didn't already, the surgeon said supposedly, oh, we did extract bullet fragments, which allegedly, I don't know where the deal with that is.
Well, we'll see. You know, we're going to see what happens there. Before we even get there, there's going to be a cross-examination. Pray for Kelsey, man. She's going to get cross-examined. It's going to be insane.
Has she or anyone alluded to a possibility that her and Megan were fighting? Because
okay, you guys, this is another reactions to the Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion case. This is Milagro and Academics again talking about the trial with Kelsey's testimony all over the place. So I'm giving you guys their commentary on what's going on. Like I said, because Milagro Grams is there at the courthouse, but cameras are not allowed there. So she's reading from her notes that she took from the court case. So again, shout out to Milagro Grams and DJ Academics. They're doing their thing in these YouTube streets. I'm telling you, shout out to Milagro Grams. I wish I was well enough to go to LA to, if she wanted to hook up. I know the girls do a little of that ganja. So I'll show her around San Diego a little bit. You know her, I don't know if the two girls that she's with are her friends that she brought from Houston, Texas with her. But again, she is in California. She's in LA. I stay in San Diego. So if she would have wanted to, I would have brought her to San Diego. I would have put her up in a nice hotel room and show her around my hood in San Diego. Got her, everything would have been on my pay. I would pay for everything. Got her what she wanted to drink, whatever she wanted. Even took her a little shopping. I know she said something about a wig. I would have took her shopping. Everything I would have paid for, everything. So we got an Uber. And because my car it's nice, but you know, I would have to show out for Milagro, so I would have got an Uber or whatever. I would have got a renter. I don't know. Shout out a little bit, you know. So splurged on her, get her whatever she wanted to eat, take her to a nice hotel, got her a nice hotel room, or unless she wanted to go back to LA or whatever. And we already show her San Diego. You know, because San Diego is nice. It's nice. It's nice. My little state is nice. My little city is nice. So I wish I wasn't not sick, had this surgery. But there's more opportunities to present itself down the line. So shout out to Milagro Graham, one black queen, another black queen. Salute to you. You're doing your thing up in this sector of social media. So shout out to you, black queen. I take off my crown and let you wear it. There's no shame in sharing your crown with another queen. It's not a shame. We are doing the same job. So shout out to this black queen for doing her thing.
What you want to do? Like, is there anything basically that I can like put some money into? Like, is there anything you want to do? And No, she don't remember that. They said, didn't Tory ask you for a hug and you didn't want a hug? Is that what happened? She said no. They said when y'all stopped the car the second time, Megan got out. And what happened? Kelsey said that her and Megan got out at the same time on the passenger side. And both of the doors was left open. They said, what did you see? She said, I don't know what I saw. She said, I said things to protect myself that night. I didn't see anything. Multiple gunshots went off, they said. They said, so what happened after that? She said, I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I think she went over to the sidewalk, and then I went over there. They said, did you say that you got out the car and opened the door and that you heard 5 gunshots? She said, I can't recount. I don't know how many gunshots it was. They said, didn't you say that Tory jumped into the front seat after the 3rd shot? And you looked up after you heard that 3rd shot and you saw him standing right there, pointing that gun? She said, again, I was not being truthful. They played the audio where Kelsey said in an interview in September, I looked up after I was getting out the car. She said because she really wasn't paying attention. She said when you be in a car and you get out, you don't really be looking around, you getting out the car. She said so when she heard the 2nd and 3rd gunshot, she looked up and that he was leaning over the door. She said, that's what I told you. Okay? They said, did you tell us that you saw Tory shoot her over the door? She said, I was drunk and it was a blur. We go on a break. We come back. People upset now because Kelsey is saying something completely different than what the fuck they expected. They said, did you see Tory shooting? She said, I didn't see him shooting. They said, did you shoot Megan? She said, no. They said, do you know who shot Megan? She said, no. They said, did you shoot Megan? No. They said, did you hold a gun? No. Did you ever apologize for having a gun and being a part of the shooting? No. They said, who apologized that night? She said, I don't recall an apology that night. They said, after you saw Megan limp over to the driveway, then what happened? She said, I don't know. She said, did you go check on her? Yeah. They said, didn't you tell us that Megan was bleeding? She said, I don't know where it was coming from. They said, was Megan bleeding in the driveway? She said, no. They said, didn't you tell us that Megan looked up and saw you and then she looked like a deer in headlights? She said, yeah. If that's what you got to know, yeah. They said, did you tell us that he was pointing the gun at Megan? And after the shots, everyone froze? She said, again, the whole night is a blur. They said, did you tell us that he came around the back of the car and you were scared of him, and you didn't know what he was going to do? She said, I said a lot of things. They said, did you tell us that Tory assaulted you and that Quan picked you up like a dog and said, they do this all the time, Kelsey, come on. She said, refresh my memory on that. So they played the audio and they said, you told us this, in the interview. And then they said, you told us a lot of stuff in September. Like, what's going on? She said, I don't care to be here and I got a sick baby and I got postpartum depression. And so they said, how did you feel about Megan and, how this situation basically transpired? She said, I felt betrayed by Megan and upset that Megan started rumors that I took hush money. They said, didn't you tell us in September that Tory assaulted you? She said, I said that. She said, didn't you say that he punched and slapped you? She said, again, I said a lot of things. They said, did you tell us that your necklace broke? She said, yeah. They in the midst of fighting Tory that your necklace broke off. She said, yeah. They said, is that what happened? She said, no. She said, I don't know if it fell or if it broke, but when I woke up the next day, I realized my necklace wasn't there. They said, what happened to your chain? She said, I don't know. They said, didn't you tell us that your nail broke? She said, I don't know how my nails was. They had the picture on the screen. And so she said, I don't know how my nails was, but yeah, I told you that. She said, but that didn't happen. They said, didn't you tell us that Tory pulled your hair and your neck so hard that it was like a tug of war and that's what broke your chain because Quan was pulling you the other way? Okay? And so she said, again, I said a lot of things. They said, did Quan try to get y'all back in the car? She said, no, we just got back in the car. They said, did anyone approach you and Megan in the driveway? She said, it was all a blur. They said, what happened in the car? She said, I don't know. It was a blur. They said, did you send that text to Justin? She said, yeah. We took a break. That's when we came back in at 2:50. So they said, Kelsey, when y'all got back in the car, could you tell that Megan was injured? She said, I didn't see. It was a blur. They said, Kelsey, what is going on with you today? What happened from September to today that you forgot everything? She said, I told you what I was going through. I have a sick baby and a funeral to plan, plus postpartum depression and a host of other things. They said, Kelsey, have you ever been around the shooting or been involved in anything like this? She said, no. They said, okay, when it comes to you and your memory of this, don't you get a lot of pushback on social media? She said, yeah, and I still get it to this day. They said, so how did you forget all of this stuff when people are constantly reminding you of it by way of attacking you on social media? Kelsey said, oh, I take social media breaks. Okay. They said, between September and now, Kelsey said, I have been through a lot. They said, Kelsey, did anybody from the defense contact you since September? She said, no. And since they interviewed, they said, did you send that text off about help? You know, Tory did this. She said, yeah, but, you know, I don't remember what I said. So they put the text messages up. They said, did you send this text to Justin? And she said, yeah. They said, why did you send it? She said, because I panicked. They said, why did you tell us that Tory shot Megan? She said, because I made assumptions. They said, did you tell us in September that you text Justin for help because he shot Megan? She said, I did not see Tory shoot her. They said, did you tell them to take Megan to the hospital? And Megan said, call T. Ferris. But you had to send him a message because your signal was bad. She said, yeah. They said, did you try to send your location to T. Ferris? She said, yeah. They said, did you text your mom help? She said, yeah. They said, did you also say that you were physically and emotionally broken? She said, I don't recall that. They said, were you injured that night? She said, yes. They said, how did you get injured? She said, I saw my injuries the next day. I don't remember. So they pull up a picture of Kelsey's leg that has a huge bruise on it. They said, how did you get this bruise? She said, I saw it the next day. I don't know how I got it. So then they put up another picture. There's another bruise on another leg, or maybe the back of the leg, but I think it was the other leg, the shin, all along the shin. Like maybe she got dragged up the damn street. And then she had a bruise on her arm and a bald patch at the top of her head. And when I say a bald patch, like a literal bald patch. They said, did you take these pictures? She said, yeah. They said, why you take it? She said, because I saw it on my body. They said, have you gotten bruises before while you were drunk? She said, yeah. And they said, have you taken pictures before of your bruises while you were drunk? And that you got while you were drunk? And she said, I don't know if I took pictures then. I don't remember. But I did this time. They said, didn't you tell us that you had gotten bruises from Tory assaulting you? She said, yeah, that's what I told you. They said, why did you take a photo of your head with the bald patch? They said, because I had a bald patch. Kelsey said, because I had a bald patch. And I've gotten bald spots before. And I wear a lot of ponytails. So I was just looking at the bald patch in my head and I took a picture of the bald patch. They said, didn't you call somebody that you was talking to when y'all was in the car and you told them that you just wanted them to be on the line and you left the line open because you were scared and you wanted them to be able to hear what was happening? She said, I did call somebody, but I did not call them for that reason or at that time. She said, I called them once the police sirens popped up and there was a whole bunch of shit going on with the police. She said, that's when I called him and I put him on the phone so he could hear what was happening with that. They said that Megan had her leg on her in the car. So they said, did Megan bleed on you? She said, I don't know. So they showed a picture of Kelsey with blood on her leg. She said, I don't know who blood that is. They said, was Megan bleeding in the car? Kelsey said, no. They showed the photos of the blood in the car because in these photos, there's a towel that's soaked with blood. The console has soaked loosely, but it had blood on it. There was some blood droplets on her suitcase, and there was blood on the console. So they said, do you recognize this? Kelsey said, no. They said, were there bloody towels in the car? She said, to my knowledge, no. But mind you, she was sitting in the back seat with Megan, and that's where the towels were found on the floorboard of the back seat. But she said, to my knowledge, no. She said, that is my suitcase in the picture, but I don't know who blood that is on there. They said, was Megan bleeding? She said, yeah, but I don't know where from, and I never asked her what she was bleeding from. They said, did Tory tell you to shut up when you got back in the car? She said, yes. And they said, why did he take shit up? She said, because I was drunk and crying. No, she said, because I was crying. They said, why were you crying, Kelsey? She said, because I was drunk. Okay. They said, once the sirens pulled up, Kelsey, didn't you tell us that Tory said, I got a big deal coming up. I'll give both of y'all $1 million. She don't recall all this shit. They said in September you knew, but today you don't know. They said, were you being truthful that day in September? It's looking like she's hiding something.
No trouble, and you have no reason to take back those statements. Actually, they're giving you the immunity to repeat those statements.
Okay.
So it's really either saying, yo, she knows that she probably is responsible for what really happened, and she knows Tory spared her, and she really doesn't want anything to do with the legal process, so she's up there just not cooperating. If you get what I mean, or maybe she's like, hey, listen, I just hate Meg, and I don't give a fuck. Like I'll act dumb with the rest of the shit, but when it comes to y'all asking me about Megan, and if she was like, being, belligerent, or if she was like too drunk, like, yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all that. I'm gonna protect my reputation, because at first when I heard what Kelsey said that she was mad at Meg because Meg did not clear up her name, that she didn't shoot her. So maybe she's using this opportunity like, listen, I'm not here to tell y'all who shot Meg, but I'm definitely here to tell y'all that I ain't do that shit,
right,
and leave me the fuck one out.
Do you think that the case can survive? That this Tory Lanez found guilty after this?
Nah. I think if tomorrow if they don't get her, which would be unprecedented, but I think today was unprecedented already. If they don't get her to reverse gears tomorrow, the only way the prosecution has to win this case is to try to come up with some proof that Tory has paid off Kelsey, and that Tory and Kelsey have, they did have an intimate relationship. They have been in cahoots and against Meg for the last 2 years, and actually it was such a plot for them to, for Kelsey to come in and get an immunity deal, then flip. I don't even think these prosecutors.
Absolutely not. They don't have enough time. They said this is supposed to be a 10-day trial, and they decided to go home before Christmas.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't even know Kelsey was finna do this shit, do y'all dirty like she did y'all ass. Kathy Todd was hot than E motherfucker. I hope she get fucked tonight. She was mad than a bitch. No.
She look good or no? Hey, let me tell you this. The prosecutors is mad. I know they're mad at her. But you see, now I'm saying, okay, what could it come down to really sink Tory? Remember, we're talking about reasonable doubt. And we have reasonable, whether the jury believes her or not, I think it's reasonable doubt enough. I think that Tory, it was a possibility that Tory should have possibly hit the stand. I don't think he needs to hit the stand anymore. But shit, if he did hit the stand, obviously it would be he would need to prepare a lot, because they're going to try to trip him up a lot. But still, I don't think he needs to do it. But if he did, I think that would also drive home the point that, man, this whole case is really trumped up, and he not only shouldn't be charged, but definitely will not or should not be found guilty. And again, we're only talking about this case. People are going to have questions regardless. Damn, what happened that made today went the way it did? Those are questions that could be answered another time, or hopefully Kelsey later comes out, or maybe Tory to speak on it, or maybe even Meg herself. But if we're thinking about finding Tory guilty,
how? And I want to know. Now, I know Kelsey has some business ventures, and she's a successful young lady. I've seen, what she's been doing for herself, and that's amazing. But she had bodyguards And, a lawyer that, after people looked into him, they said that ain't no chump change. You got to pay that nigga to come rep you. Who in the fuck paying for all of this? Where the hell Kelsey get somebody going?
Hey, so apparently, when No Jumper tweeted out, and they said this was like one of the last things of the day, they said that they were offered. No, they said they asked Meg, or they asked Kelsey, if they said in the last hour of court, prosecutor asked Kelsey, "Did Tory pay for your lawyer?" She responded, "Yes." She was then asked, "Did no?" They said, "Did Tory offer to pay for your lawyer?" She said, "Yes." Oh boy. Damn it, people. Y'all got me so fucking tired of shit now, man. I'm still here, though. I am still here, man. I'm putting in work today, man. Chat, this is like 6-hour streams back to back. Holy shit, man. Thank y'all. Yeah, I hit the sub bonus and shit like that, man. Thank y'all. It disconnected with Malaga, so when she's back live, she's probably gonna be back live in like a second. I'll join her again. It fucks up September 20. Oh, was it 2020?
This year.
Oh, it was this year, September 2022.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think it was all planned. I think she knew that. She signed that immunity deal, right? Now, granted, I think the reason why sometimes she's being careful is that while signing that deal, you could still perjure yourself. You can't lie.
Right.
You can't lie. Now, if in your opinion you forgot, that you're gonna hear a lot. Oh, I don't remember. It's blurry. Meg also did that too. Hey, once you use that, it's like, how could somebody prosecute you or say you're lying based on you not remembering, right? But if you said definitively, no, this or I don't know, this didn't happen when it happened, or whatever the case is, now you're opening yourself up to that. So I said from the get go, and I said this mid trial at the 130 marker. I said, yo, this is a weird, quirky theory I got, and I probably am wrong, but we're working off a lot of theories. I said you will figure out if there's any type of play being ran, and the play would be between Tory and Kelsey. And by the way, I'm not saying that means Tory's guilty or that Kelsey's guilty or innocent, either or. I'm saying that both of them, number one, don't like Meg. Number two, here's the thing: it could be perfectly within the realm of the theory I'm operating off, that they're looking at it to say, yo, Tory, you could have told on me for 2 years. I'm gonna hold it down up there for you, okay? Now, obviously, I'm gonna get a deal, so they're not gonna charge me with it. But I'm gonna leave enough wiggle room in my testimony without lying. I'm gonna leave enough wiggle room. I'm gonna forget enough. Some of the things I said before, I'm forgetting, because if you really think about it, it makes no sense that Kelsey, unless she's trying to protect Tory, if you already gave these statements, why are you conveniently forgetting? Like why? Why are you forgetting it now? You know what I mean? Unless you don't want him to get prosecuted. And I'm not saying you're getting paid from him, that's why you don't want him to get prosecuted. It could be a number of reasons. One could be you're getting paid. Two could be, yo, you really did the shooting and the nigga didn't stitch on you, so you're trying to hold it down for him. Number three, it could be like, man, fuck what Tory got going on. If Tory beats his case, I embarrass Meg, and I hate Meg. So there's multiple different reasons, but I'm now in the belief that Kelsey is cognizantly doing what she got to do, and I think there's a weird, wild possibility that that Tory and Kelsey have ran a play, and that play is listen, get your immunity deal, then tell the prosecutor that everything you said, you have now reconsidered and forgot, and you may have misremembered. Leave enough wiggle room. Don't say anything that's going to get you perjured. And what's going to happen is that when you get off the stand, I think Tory's... Hey, these are predictions. I think Tory's lawyers are going to give a soft core cross-examination to what's the name? Because she already did the work. She did the work for the prosecutor. She did the best defense job to the prosecutor than Tory's lawyers could do it. So you give her a soft core cross. You basically dig more into her exposing that Meg is a liar, and then basically after that, who else are they gonna bring? Okay, they're bringing a surgeon that there was a bullet. Okay, fine. You have.
Which doesn't prove that he did it.
Yeah, and you still have some counters to that. Hey, do you guys still have the bullet fragments? Okay, cool. There's a bunch of stuff you can say. Hey, well, the other doctor contradicted what you said. Hey, listen, there's a lot to be said. Then after that, it's gonna be Tory people calling all the It's gonna be
right, which doesn't prove that he did it.
Yeah. It's gonna be some counters. It's gonna be Tory's. It's gonna be Tory's list of witnesses. There's a bunch of stuff you can say. When it's Tory's list of witnesses, it's gonna be people that come out and say, "Oh yeah, we didn't see Tory behind the gun. We saw two women fight." This and third, blah blah blah. Tory people calling all the. As long as it goes like that, it keeps the narrative very consistent that Tory's painted. It fucks up everything with the prosecutor got going on. It's gonna be someone who's just completely. It's gonna be Tory's. I can't find 12 people. And at that point, when it's Tory's list of witnesses,
yo, Act, you gotta mute yourself, bro.
Say, oh yeah, we didn't see Tory behind the gun. We saw two women fight. This and that, blah blah blah.
It's too all over the place.
As long as it goes like that, it keeps the narrative very consistent that Tory's lawyer painted. It fucks up everything what the prosecutor got going on, and only someone who's just completely. You can't find 12 people unbiased that would just vote. I'm glad Tory is guilty. If you ask me. Right when you guys went to lunch at 1:30, I said, because I was, I went off what lawyers and workers said.
I thought that when we got back, Kelsey was going to say I had the damn gun.
Which means it didn't matter what she said.
We probably going to be done today based on how it was going. So, yeah, I just
means
like this
she
was a game
can't get
changer
up there
today.
and just like...
A big deal.
I was saying, if
they were,
if she really wants to said that to Meg, right? Right when you guys went to lunch at 1:30, I said, because I went off what lawyers for workers say. I thought Kelsey had a blanket immunity. What are y'all gonna do now? Which means it didn't matter what she said. No court eruption. Case is done. I got it, nigga go. Which means she can't get up there and just like...
And outright.
I was saying, if she really wants to shoot Meg, right? If she had blanket immunity, let's say she didn't shoot. Hey, we're arguing. We fighting up there. You really hurt Meg by saying, I shot her. Tory wrestled out of my hand. I shot. And I was about to shoot her.
So again, you guys, just thank you guys for watching. This video has been long enough. So I hope you guys watched from finishing to end. This is another one of my long videos. So I appreciate all you guys for just tuning in and watching this with your girl. So kings and queens, my crowns and my tiaras. Thank you. It's a thing called life. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But you put your faith in God, He will see you through. I love you, God love you, and I hope you love yourself even more. Keep it in mind, it will get great later. And I'll catch you guys on another one. Bye, you guys.